Today I am going to put together a dry fly, an adult midge that works well on our local tailwater, especially this time of year. We get a nice little black fly hatch. Sometimes it can be maddening trying to figure out what they're eating, but this is a fly that they'll take occasionally. Start with a size 18 wide gap dry fly hook that I carry. That gap's about twice as big as some of the other size 18 hooks that you'll find, and I like that about it. This is 16-aught Vivus black thread. It's a great thread when you're tying small flies. And I am going to use coq de leon for my tailing or tail, and I'll just grab, really all you need for this fly is just a couple, 2 to 3 fibers. Sometimes these will actually have a curvature to them, so I'm going to try and hold it where it's curved up. I'm going to make that tail about the length of the hook shaft. I'm tying a size 18 today just mostly because a little more visible for the camera, but this fly actually fishes real well in the 20-22 size range as well. Wrap that up and secure that down. And trim off the excess. In the event you're ever tying a tail in and it doesn't want to sit up properly for you, you can always come underneath that with your thread and lift that up. I'm going to take a stripped peacock eye and take off one of the quills there to use on this fly. And you'll notice on these quills there's going to be a point, and it just broke right there, at which it tends to break almost. I don't know if anybody eats asparagus, but asparagus, the back end of the stem's got a breaking point that you can use. These peacock quills do not make your pea stink like asparagus. And I'm going to tie that in. I like to have, this has got some segmentation to it, some gradient, where it goes from light to dark. I'm going to tie it in with a light side down on my side of the hook. And wrap up to about the 2/3 point to cover that up. On this particular fly, I am going to use my rotary feature. You can hand hackle this around, and because I don't have a bead or anything to catch it, I'm going to do a quick half hitch just so my thread doesn't come unraveled while I'm doing this. I'm going to grab some hackle pliers and slowly wrap this up, touching ends to keep this segmented body look going. Come over top with my thread a couple of times and then in front to secure it, and we're good there. A couple things you could do. You could use super glue on the thread body before you come up with that quill to make it a little more secured. I'm actually going to put just a dab of Sally Hansen's Hard as Nails, and that's going to make the segmentation slightly more pronounced and it's also going to give it a little more durability. Next step is our dry fly hackle. This is a grizzly variant. And whenever you hear the word variant on your dry fly hackle, what it means is it's got a multitude of colors. So you may get up to 2 or 3, even 3 feather colors in that particular caper saddle. Alright, obviously did not catch the stem when I was trying to get that in. We'll try that again. Because I don't want additional bulk, I'm going to unravel a couple of times what I put on there. Alright, and I'm going to hand wrap my hackle to try and keep it as precise as possible, and just give that 3, maybe 4 turns before I come up and over and then in front. Alright, so now that I'm in this position, my preferred method of securing that in good at this point is a half hitch. It's just easier for me to do than a whip finish. I can come back and whip finish it now if I choose to, but it's going to press some of those hackle fibers backwards that maybe move forward, crowding the eye, and I can just tend to keep my line tighter than when I whip finish. Cut that off, and if you notice when I'm trimming things like this off, I'm going to start up here with my scissors and come down, and the reason I'm doing that, that's going to keep me from cutting off too many of the fibers of the hackle that I want to keep on there. So that is a quill-bodied midge dry fly. Again, anywhere you see small bugs coming off the surface, this is something you could consider throwing. If you've got active midges present, also when you fish this fly, don't be afraid to put some movement on it. Those midges tend to skitter across the surface in the area that I fish. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Please comment, subscribe to my channel, and visit my store for these products and more.